Hey Peter, how are you? Um, hey Manoj, trying to see if we can get my screen share here. I have a little bit of a different setup. Ikeshia 1981, Peter. Yeah, Peter, I'm trying to see why that is. I don't know why it is not sharing my screen, which is interesting. What's going on? Let's see. Hmm. Just give me 1 second here and I'll see what is up. Some reason it is not showing my screen, guys. My apologies. Let's see if I can select a display. So strange, guys. So strange. Okay. I think that should work now. Can you guys see my screen now? What's up, Chris Waters, Anthony Campbell, Mr. Wick, Nader Zaid, Simon Bickerton, Gerald Buford, Peter, MC Crypt. Oh, thank you for being a channel member. Unknown Revolver, Donald Atkinson. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Please hit the thumbs up button on the way in. I appreciate it. Let's see who else is in here. Ashik Rahman, excuse me. B. Douglas, Victor M. It's because of the XRP you're holding since forever. Deep Bearing, Simon Bickerton, T. Towning, Surfside Gunner, Donald Atkinson, Lorenzo M. How you guys doing? Great to have all of you. Hope everyone is healthy and doing well. Obviously, crazy times we're living in with this whole pandemic situation, but we'll get through it as people in history have gotten through many different things, and that's life. Sometimes you got to deal with the craziness that comes with it, but we'll get through it. And I'm waiting for this whole pandemic situation to, of course, wrap up, as I know many of you are, so we can get back to a normal life. And I think we will see continual growth in the crypto market. Right now, I'm not expecting anything, even with the Bitcoin halving just 30 days away, right? Very close, guys. The ETA right now is May 13th. But we are not in a normal cycle, a normal environment right now. As we've seen, the Bitcoin halving in past years has resulted in a bullish momentum for the market. And we're certainly expecting that, but we won't see the impact right away. I think things are going to be delayed because of the whole pandemic situation. That you won't have the masses interested in spending money or investing that much. You will have some, of course. I'm not saying completely gone, but that is where we got to be patient, even more patient than we've been. But all good things come to those who are patient and way through. So, I'm certainly stacking up where I can. We are currently in an accumulation phase. So this is not financial investment advice. I'm accumulating my top three for sure: XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And of course, I've got some bullish Ethereum news to share with you guys. And this is why I diversify, because I know there's going to be multiple winners, multiple folks getting into, multiple projects that are going to be winners, guys. So let's take a look at this Ethereum news. So we heard about Reddit building their crypto, and this has been coming from a series of leaks where someone was chosen for a beta test, on their Reddit app. And there's further details of video showing that it's going to be Ethereum that this is going to be built on. Now, we haven't gotten full confirmation from Reddit as yet, an official notice, but the video seems legit, and it's showing that this is going to be built on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's going to be points-based or tokens-based point system, and you can earn your respective Reddit crypto, based on your activity. And this all speaks to the token economy, which we've been talking about a lot on this channel. And crypto is really the spark that started all this tokenization of different assets and so forth, and the tokenization of rewards and points and all of that. So the video that was shared here on Reddit shows here the mention of Ethereum. It says community points are fully controlled by the people who own them. They live on the Ethereum blockchain, which uses the same technology as Bitcoin to guarantee property rights and control. Even Reddit cannot take them away. So very interesting setup there, guys. And even Vitalik weighed in here. I don't know if this was full confirmation, but some level of confirmation. He said, my favorite proposal for a simple, meaningful Ethereum integration on Reddit was one of Virgil Griffith's ideas. They should allow subreddits to set an arbitrary smart contract address as their moderator. This would allow unbounded experimentation in DAO-like moderation policies. So we've seen some breadcrumbs here, some hints that it is maybe indeed what Reddit is doing. And guys, just remember, Reddit is huge. It's one of the top most visited websites on the web. It is high traffic. A lot of people use it. There's different topics, of course. There's topics about crypto and many different things. So it has the community. It has the user base. And, this is great adoption. And like I said, guys, this is why Ethereum is in my portfolio. I look at XRP as that bridge asset for moving money cross-border and micropayments. I look at Bitcoin as the store of value digital gold, and Ethereum in the DeFi smart contract side of things. So they serve different purpose. People like to think they butt heads, but they don't. I personally see the difference. Some people don't, but to each his own. Obviously, I have VeChain, Basic Attention Token, Tezos. The ones that are not in red is what I continue to accumulate. The ones that are in red, I am not accumulating more of. I had bought, I told you guys, I got into the market 2016. I've been buying since then. So I made money in the 2017 bull run. Not as much as I would like, right? I wish I had accumulated more. I would probably be retired already, right? I'll probably be a multi-millionaire. But unfortunately, I didn't make that much, but I still made money. So I'm not complaining. And I know I'm not going to miss the boat this time around because I'm accumulating in the dips and the lows. And that is important, guys, if you want to make some money here. So not financial investment advice. I'm just letting you know what I do. But like I said, really, really great news here for Ethereum. Really, really happy about that. Some interesting news here. Cashaa, if I'm saying that right, which is a next generation banking platform, tweeted the following today. Binance Chain will be linked with the UK's faster payment SEPA, NEFT, and SWIFT network in 48 hours. This integration will provide any BEP2 tokens trading at the Binance decentralized exchange direct access with the world's top national currencies. Now, a user asked a question here. Be nice if a Euro-INR and GBP-INR ODL corridor was opened soon by Ripple. And here's the response. Pretty straight from the horse's mouth here. We are looking forward to implementing Ripple once it's ready to replace international transfers between these corridors. In case, we will add XRP in the next quarter in our banking system. Great news for XRP there. And we continue to see the addition, the building out of different use cases and so forth. So really, really bullish news here. And that's what you want to see as an investor, right? The adoption, the continual growth of the different use cases and utility. So certainly some good news here around XRP. Guys, I have a lot of interviews coming up. The next one I'm trying to get is the Hex Trust, the folks who just partner with R3 to help Asian banks sell security tokens. So of course, what I'm going to ask them, among many things, is R3 has 5 billion XRP. XRP is the first settlement mechanism on R3's Corda blockchain, and they're using it for even like. I believe it's the market payments where you select specific currencies. I can't remember the top of my head, but it's on their site. And I'm going to ask them, how is XRP being used, if at all, in this process, and also find out what's being built here. Because, like I said, both Ripple and XRP have billions of XRP. Both Ripple and R3 have billions of XRP, and they want that value to go up. They're incentivized for that value to go up. So a lot of different interviews coming up soon, guys. And to give you a full breakdown, I think I had tweeted it. I'm in contact with Mike Novogratz, so I am in contact with him to discuss setting up an interview. He's a busy guy, so trying to get him on the calendar. Also, Meltem Demers of CoinShares, I'm in contact with her, trying to get her on the calendar as well. And there's also what was that payment card app? Is another one I'm in contact with to try to get some details. Also, Gabor Gobox. If you guys know, he works with Van Eck, and they've been trying to get through the Bitcoin ETF thing for the most part. And then recently they helped the Bitcoin fund get listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So I am going to discuss that with him. Let me see if we can pull it up here. If I can find that, Toronto Stock Exchange. Let's see if I do Toronto Stock Exchange. But that news is pretty big. You have a $14 million Bitcoin fund listed on a stock exchange. Here we go. Here it is, guys. This news we covered this week. So Van Eck helped set this up. I believe that it's mentioned here in the article, if I'm not mistaken. And, I want to talk to them. I want to find out what else they're trying to do. Obviously, in Canada, they were able to do this. The problem is in the United States that everyone's ETF is getting rejected, right? You just don't have clarity from the SEC and CFTC. That's what we're waiting for, and I believe will open the floodgates. Because if it's clear what banks and corporates and all these people can do as far as crypto and digital assets, no one will be afraid to take the risk, or the risk will be eliminated. They won't have to worry about securities laws, getting fined, and things along those lines. So I am in contact with Gabor Gobox. Let me show you who that is, by the way, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Here we go. So this is the guy. Once again, he works at Van Eck. So they're trying to do some pretty big things, and digital asset strategist / director. So shows you what's happening, right? You have people being hired, positions being created for crypto and digital assets in almost every industry now, because they have to look at blockchain. They have to look at, can we tokenize something? Can we leverage crypto? Can we build on Ethereum? Can we build on the XRP ledger? How can we use Bitcoin, right? That is what's taking place. And that's what excites me, guys, is just seeing all of these people flooding into the market and now recognizing, okay, this is the new disruptive technology. We have to innovate or we die, because it is disrupting, just like the internet, right? If you were a phone book company and whatever else in the 90s, you better get on board or you will become irrelevant. You will die. Innovate or die. And I'm trying to get you guys as many interviews as possible, trying to bring you some quality content, of course. You guys saw my interview with CZ, Mark Yusko, obviously the CEO of Wazir X. Man, they're doing some big things in India, guys. Binance and Wazir, $50 million blockchain fund. And India is a big untapped market. And because you just had the regulations removed, it's opening the floodgates there. And if you haven't checked out that interview, definitely do. Keep in mind, crypto is global. So, you may say, well, I'm in the United States or I'm in Australia or wherever. What does that mean for me? It means that because crypto is global, you have more people investing in it than you've had in any other asset class in the history. Because anybody walking around, if they have a smartphone, guys, they just have access to the internet, can invest in crypto. There's no gatekeeper, like accredited investors only, right? Like many of us can't invest in certain companies before they go public. We have to wait till they go public. Well, with crypto, it doesn't matter, public or not. You can just go get the token. You can get the utility token, the digital asset, whatever it is. There's no gatekeeper, and that's the whole decentralized aspect of it. Anybody in any country in Africa and Europe and Australia, anybody living in Australia and South America, wherever, guys, you can get involved in crypto, and that's what's amazing about it. That's why there's so much potential. The future is so bright. Remember, we are what, 1% of the world that's maybe in crypto, if even that. I don't know. We are sometimes caught up in our own bubble and we don't realize how tiny we are right now. But we are on the rise, and many folks are recognizing what is taking place. And that's why I tried to get these interviews for you guys, so you can hear directly from the people who are investing and building. Because it's one thing if I say something, and it's one thing if somebody tweets something, right? Somebody tweets something on Twitter. But if you hear from the person who's putting money on the table, putting the money where their mouth is, and they're actually building and investing, and you get their perspective, from the building side of things, I think it's important as an investor to have that. So, excited about the market, guys. I know nothing sexy, nothing flashy right now. And once again, because we're dealing with this whole pandemic situation. But, I believe the Bitcoin halving, because the market moves of Bitcoin, will yield higher prices. Not next month, not even in the next 6 months, guys. I believe we have to come out of this situation. We're probably, all our timelines and whatever is being pushed back, right? Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it does happen. I don't know. Maybe because the CBDC is launching and more people have access to digital wallets and they understand the concept of crypto and tokenization, right? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But the cycle never fails, guys. You guys may have seen what I tweeted today about the market cycles here. Because human nature, human psychology does not change. People, the greed, the delusion, the enthusiasm, and it's only, count yourself lucky that you understand this, because many folks don't, and they get caught. And that's how Wall Street and all the big players always win. And I always tell you guys, they put out a narrative and they do the opposite. We've seen it many times. And I want to be in this phase, guys, accumulating smart money, institutional investors, right? I want to be here, because when it gets up to here, that's when I want to sell. I want to accumulate here, sell here, right? To buy low, sell high. Simple principle, but you got to take emotions out of it. A lot of people get frustrated. They get angry. I've been holding for years. You guys have been lying. You're this, you're that. And, that would be a valid complaint if there wasn't any investments and building. But once you see these things take time, there's actual businesses, there's actual processes, there's regulations that's needed. You got to work with the government. You got to lobby politicians. Once you understand how those things work, then you get, okay, you understand why you have to be patient. It takes time. And I know a lot of people are looking for the next 2017, and it's going to come. The next 2017 type bull run, even larger, is going to come. But we got to go through the next cycle of bear markets and roller coaster rides, and get to another point of where the building and the maturation is at a certain point, and then we take off again and get the higher prices. So hope you guys understand that. This applies for stock market, right? To be fully transparent, guys, and I always try to be honest and truthful, with the stock market correcting, dropping, and so forth, I went ahead and bought some MoneyGram stock. Not financial or investment advice. Why did I do that? Because they are leveraging the next disruptive generational technology for payments, which Ripple's technology and XRP. That is why I'm using it, guys. Chris, thank you so much for the $2 donation, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I hope you guys get that, like my approach. And notice when I'm buying, I didn't buy what last year when it was high. I'm buying when there's blood on the streets. Now, be smart with your money. I'm investing what I'm willing to lose. I'm not going to lose sleep. If it goes to zero, I'm not going to lose sleep, guys, because I have my savings. I have my job. I'm paying my bills, right? It is not coming out of my like 401k and all that stuff. It's money I can afford to lose. So always keep that in mind. Don't FOMO, don't get emotional and FOMO too hard where you're like, okay, I'm going to put all my life savings or a chunk of my life savings. You want to be careful with that, right? Accumulate over time in small amounts if you're able to. Certainly, if you have money to play with, a good amount of money to play with, and by all means, right? But be smart with your money because nothing is guaranteed. As bullish as I am on crypto, and trust me, I have a good amount in crypto, guys, because if I were to lose it, I would probably have to explain to my wife, like, hey, what happened, right? But it's not going to, disrupt our life. It's not going to be anything where it's like, oh my God, you lost our life savings. No, like we have our respective savings, we have our 401k and all of that. So you keep those things separate, right? To be able to pay your bills, to be able to go through emergencies, whatever it is. But because there's so much opportunity here, I'm all in. And, as far as stock wise, like I said, I've been buying up some MoneyGram because they are leveraging the next generational technology for payments. And I'm going to, the stock was also very cheap. It was like near $1. So I accumulated some of that, guys, on my Robinhood app. And I'm holding, right? And once again, I'm under my mindset is I'm holding for the next, 4 or 5 years in a sense, where we might see things take off. Now, I'm not saying you have to wait 4 or 5 years. I'm just prepared to wait that long. I'm hoping next year, if things get back to normal, we start seeing some all-time new highs, maybe into 2022, but it could start in 2021, right? This whole situation sucks with the pandemic, of course, but, like I said, the almost silver lining, if you want to put it that way, is that CBDCs are on the horizon, the Fed and so forth, Fed wallet and all that stuff. If that starts happening, I think people are going to wake up to what? I'm sending the digital dollar tokenization blockchain. Oh, that's what this Bitcoin thing is about, right? The gears will start spinning. The light bulbs are going to start going off. So, that's my thought process behind it, guys. And I'm not just a content creator on here. I am invested. And I get the questions sometimes from friends and family like, hey, what happened to your XRP or your Bitcoin, right? I heard Bitcoin went down because they just read the headlines. But you and I, we are in the weeds with this. And I think we understand that market cycles. And there's, it's a young market. It's has some manipulation going on because you have whales. You got different people trying to short the market. So once you recognize these facts and understand what's going on, then you know how to play the game, and you know how to have the mindset to, okay, I'm not worried about these little roller coaster rides. Oh, Bitcoin pumps to 10K tomorrow, and then a week later drops to 7. I don't give a crap. I don't give a shit, right? Call me when it crosses over 20K again. XRP, call me when it crosses over $3.80 again. That's why you hardly see me, guys, like tweeting about, XRP just crossed over 30 cents. Who gives a crap? I don't care. Because I made money off the $3.80 in 2017. I'm looking to go past that. Then you're going to have my attention. Like, okay, I'm going to focus on the price now. Right now, price doesn't matter to me. I don't care if XRP drops to 15, 10 cents, whatever, tomorrow, or Bitcoin goes back down to 3K. I'll accumulate some more at that price. Because I've lived through the different cycles. Experience gives you wisdom, and it just gives you a confidence once you've gone through some of these things already. And I know many of you are new. I know some of you have been in here a while. You get it. But sometimes I see the comments. People they get angry. They get frustrated. And I get it. But, that's where you got to research. You got to read up and understand market cycles. Understand investment principles, guys. It's so important. And like I said, I want to be here accumulating at the low and sell at the high. That's how we got to play it. I can certainly answer some questions. let's see here. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. Happy to answer them. Let's see. LaQuisha Brown says, think for yourself. Don't let others do it for you. Yeah, absolutely, LaQuisha. You know, even I would even say, based whatever I'm telling you right now on this channel, you should go verify that. You should say, is Tony telling me the right thing? Is this bullshit or is he like for real? Right? You should do that. I wouldn't be, you know, that wouldn't insult me. I would highly recommend it because I want you to have that personal enlightenment that you get it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is true what he said, or that is not true what he said. And this goes for anybody, right? That's why I said, you know, in my interview with Mark Yusko, where he said, you know, we're not holding XRP and XLM. I disagree with him, but I understand his perspective. But I did my research and I seen what Ripple's doing, and I see all the connections and the partnerships and MoneyGram, right, using it, and Bitso using it. So I'm like, wait a minute. You have real companies that are using this technology. It's not just a white paper. It's not just that. Now, from Mark's perspective, he has pension funds and endowments in his crypto index fund, and he may not want to take that risk because, to my point earlier, we don't have regulations here in the U.S., clear regulations. If I was Mark and I was running a crypto hedge fund and I had millions of dollars of people's pension money, would I necessarily want to take the risk? Probably not, because his goal is to make a return on the investment for his clients and reduce as much risk as possible, right? Let's be real. He runs a crypto hedge fund, and you know that's probably his mentality, and he probably has a ton of Bitcoin. As if you saw the interview, he got in early, right? 2015 and so forth. So he has probably a ton of Bitcoin. And sometimes we're biased to our portfolio. Let's be honest, right? If you own a ton of Bitcoin, you're probably like, whatever, I don't care about anything else. Unless you really understand investment and you take the emotions out of it. If you hold a lot of XRP, you're like, whatever, I don't care about anything else, right? But if you understand that, look, there's going to be Google and Amazon and Netflix and these eBay and these other successful companies, they don't necessarily have to compete with each other, but and there's going to be competition. Just competition's healthy. There's going to be multiple winners. Obviously, not everything's going to be a winner. Like 95% of the stuff on the coin market cap is probably going to be dead. But that's okay. That's what comes with innovation. People bring new ideas. People try to start new things. Just look at the dot-com boom, right? In the Industrial Revolution, in people building different things. You have multiple car makers, right? But Ford succeeded big time, and things along those lines. Let's see here. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Rentally Metarded says, those macro guys have no idea how token economics works. Guys like Yusko, Tapiero, Novogratz, maybe Raul Paul knows. He's smarter macro guy out of the bunch. Yeah, I can see who that. I'm not familiar with Raul Paul. I'll have to look that up and see who it is. Brad says, will you still hold your channel when you become an XRP millionaire? Brad, yeah, I think I will, to be honest. You know, obviously, sometimes you don't want to have that. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself that I don't have that sudden wealth syndrome where people get a ton of money right away. They kind of spend it wastefully. The good thing, my wife is a saver, and she's very good with money. Like, I'm decent with money, but I'm more of a spender. That's not to say I don't have savings, but I'm more liberal with my spending. She's more conservative. So I like to think that I even spoke to her. I said, let's say we become multimillionaires off crypto, right? Way through the cycles and so forth. I want to make sure you be my stopgap to say, hey, we shouldn't spend money on that, right? And we have some plans like pay off the mortgage, become debt free. That's the number one thing. Get rid of the mortgage, get rid of car payments. We don't have credit debt or anything, but just mortgage and car payments. Be debt free and be free and clear, and not worry about a rent or a mortgage. We don't rent, but we have a home, obviously. So that would be my goal. And I would certainly want to continue doing YouTube channel because I'm investing in crypto, but I'm passionate about it. I like the technology. I like learning about it. One of my next goals is to learn how to code a blockchain. Certainly, I don't want to be Vitalik. I don't think I would ever be a Vitalik, right? This guy's a genius. But I want to build my skill sets. So if I want to go work at a blockchain company or crypto company because I love it, I love the technology and the industry, I can do that, right? And I highly recommend you guys do that too. If you're looking at a career change or whatever it may be, blockchain is going to disrupt every industry. Almost every industry is going to adopt it, guys. It's going to be real. And I think we've all seen the Amazon blockchain tech thing where you can create like your own blockchain with Amazon tech using Ethereum and Hyperledger. This is a sign of things to come, guys. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, Amazon managed blockchain. I had shared this on the channel maybe a few years back. Here. So they talk about, let's see here. Here we go. Hyperledger Fabric available today. Ethereum coming soon. This is why I have it in my portfolio, guys. Multiple winners. So they're going to provide, these companies are going to provide blockchain solutions. You can create your own blockchain and fit it for your business, right? They're probably going to have out-of-the-box blockchain set up for different industries. Think about it. Google's probably going to do it. I don't know who else. Certainly Amazon is on board here. Probably Google, because they offer cloud services and different services too. But if you're wondering if this blockchain thing is real, here's your answer, right? This is going to be the future, guys. And I mean, look at this. Amazon Managed Blockchain is fully managed service that makes it easy to create and manage scalable blockchain networks using popular open source frameworks, Hyperledger, Fabric, and Ethereum. The facts, right? This is great. I'm certainly excited about the future of this market, guys. XRP Hollywood said, I bought Vachina coin today. It's the newest ball and chain. I am bullish on VeChain. But, as always, guys, this is why I diversify. I don't know if VeChain's going to be successful because I can't predict the future. You can't tell me that. Probably not even the people at VeChain, right? It's a matter if they continue to innovate and get partnerships. But they do have partnerships. BMW and many others. So that is a good start. That's what you want to see. Is the technology itself being adopted in the real world? When I say the real world, I mean that, in the normal life or business, right? In commerce and all of that. And it is. And that's what I'm looking for with different projects. I love the basic attention token. I'm trying to interview people from the Brave browser company, setup and all that. But the basic attention token is looking to disrupt Google's advertising model because they're looking to eliminate the middleman and reward the user and the publisher respectively, connecting them directly, obviously leveraging blockchain tech. User gets rewarded. The advertiser gets more accuracy, trust, and they get more direct impact from their marketing rather than throwing whatever they can at the wall and see who's interested. And sure, there's different types of targeting when it comes to advertising on Facebook and Google, but this further bridges the gap by connecting them directly. And there is like click fraud and different things with Google, so I don't want to get too much in that, but this solves a big problem. So excited about basic attention token as well. Let's see here. Z Richtington says shadow ban. Who got shadow banned? Did I miss something here? Willington Rosado said, "Where do you see Bitcoin by 2021?" So Winningston, I see Bitcoin certainly back over 10,000. It's hard to say now because it all depends how long this pandemic situation lasts. Because, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're not in a normal environment, normal life, right? If it was just a recession like you had in 2008 or recessions of the past, we could continue with our normal cycle and say, okay, we think Bitcoin can hit this amount or whatever, but it's hard to say because people are inside, they're not spending as much, they're not really that focused on investment, the majority at least. So we really have to see. But I do think Bitcoin will be back over 10,000 for sure in 2021. When are we going to see that new all-time high? Could it possibly happen in 2021? Certainly. But that means this pandemic situation has to wrap up this year. We have to get back to normal life. I think if it continues, then we're probably not going to see it. But who knows? I could be wrong. I certainly want the price to go up because, like I said, I want to make money, guys. Like I said, I want to pay off my mortgage and my car and all that, to be fully transparent. Mass One says, what is the first crypto to debuckle from Bitcoin? Your opinion. So the first crypto that could potentially, and this is my honest take, I believe is XRP. Here's why. We've seen XRP move past Ethereum multiple times. So, and keep in mind the circulating supply of XRP and how many is released by Ripple and so forth, right? From the escrow. So I could potentially see it surpassing Bitcoin, but it would take a lot to do that. We would probably have to see some more adoption of XRP. Maybe, you have MoneyGram, you need to see more corridors, you need to see some other companies adopt it, and some regulatory clarity, to be fully honest. Abhijit Padkal. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. No, Chainlink. I'm still reviewing Chainlink. I certainly see some great potential there. So I will let you guys know. Like I let you guys know about Tezos, right? I was slow to add Tezos because I wanted to see, what else was going on with them, and we saw that some companies started building on there. So I will definitely let you guys know. I am looking at it, so definitely not ignoring Chainlink. John says, why aren't you invested in XLM? I have XLM right here. Maybe I should add XLM here, but I have it as Stellar Lumens. I'm not accumulating more of it. I have what I have when buying the dips, but I'm not accumulating more of it. I'm just waiting for the next bull cycle to sell off and make a profit, of course. Let's see here. XRP Carolina, how are you? Surfside Gunner says, wasn't Bitcoin invented for times like this? Yeah, it absolutely was with the money printing, but not for a pandemic. I think more of a recession or, economic uncertainty with money printing, yes. But a pandemic on top of that, remember, a pandemic affects kind of all phases of your life for the most part, right? Where people's attention is not focused on money or investing or, okay, I'm going to do this. They're looking for money from the government because of what's happening, because the government forced shut down everything. And people are more concerned about, people are dying. Am I going to stay healthy? I need to wash my hands. It's a different environment. I don't think Bitcoin is made for a pandemic. Bitcoin is made for economic issues from governments and fiat currencies and central banks, right? If you simply had a recession, yes, absolutely agree with you. A pandemic, it's a different. And a pandemic on top of a recession, it's a different environment. Just my honest opinion and take on that. Jay Duke says, what do you think of the IRS website to send people stimulus checks directly? So I heard it's related to the direct deposit. Like I have direct deposit set up with the IRS, so I would get my tax refund sent directly to my bank account. So it could be the direct deposit, but we've been hearing and saw leaked notes of the stimulus bill that they want to distribute stimulus via a Fed wallet, but we don't know when it's going to be released or what's going to happen, right? There's a lot going on. Maybe they don't want to do that. I heard the stimulus checks are coming. So let's see what happens, guys. It's pretty crazy. Service Tech says, this year write-off, next year recovery, then blast off. Yeah, I'm certainly hoping that is the case. And yeah, this year is a wash, I think, almost, right? We just need to get back to normal life. And then I think more people will focus on crypto. Many of the companies are going to start to advertise. Guys, just to give you an example of why I'm thinking this way, I'm in contact with Bakkt, right? Bakkt, which is the cryptocurrency monster, if you want to call it, giant, right? Owned by the New York Stock Exchange parent company. We were supposed to schedule an interview for March, but they were like, yo, let's postpone it because it's too crazy right now. No one's going to necessarily care about the app, right? They were like, look, let's talk more when things are a little calm all around and when we, are about to launch our app. So even these companies are like, let's hold off our marketing initiatives. Let's not put out too much stuff because people's attention is just not there. You want to do it in a normal environment. Just give you some notes behind the curtain here. So my interview with Adam White has been postponed and probably will be till the summer when they decide to launch the app. If they even decide to do it then. It just depends on what's going on. If you're a company and you want to launch a service or something, you want to get as much eyeballs, you want to get enthusiasm, you want to get interest, right? Because your goal is to get revenue and make profits, right? So if you have people are not in the right mood or frame of mind because they're focused on getting toilet paper and not getting the virus, it's not going to be ideal, right? And you don't want to be tone deaf and say, hey, guys, I know, everybody's stuck inside. Come check out our app. It's probably not the right time. So I hope you guys get that. Let's see here. Chris O says, why is the price of XRP so low compared to the other top crypto? Total amount. Chris O, so the price so low, honestly, it's a matter of a couple of things. My honest take, because I have XRP in my portfolio. One is the lack of regulatory clarity. I think there is some manipulation. Two, I think XRP will move with more utility. We are seeing some utility, but we need to see some more. We already see the sentiment is changing among a lot of critics. I shared it on my video earlier today. People from Messari, the people from the block. And I think the real key, I personally believe, this is just my opinion, is the regulatory clarity. And I believe right now we are still so early. People, when they enter in the market, it's Bitcoin. A lot of the big players are pushing Bitcoin at this point. But I think as the market matures, more people will understand what's going on and the different utility tokens and so forth. And I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. At one point, Ripple, of course, was selling XRP, but not selling people would say, oh, they're dumping on you. No, what they're doing, they're funding a lot of the building initiatives like Spring by selling XRP, which I personally feel is okay because they are transparent. They say the funds are going to invest in MoneyGram to build utility. The funds are going to invest in Fort so they can build XRP utility in the gaming platform, right? So there's more utility that's needed, regulatory clarity, and I think we will see higher prices. But a problem also is that the market, no other crypto has decoupled from Bitcoin. Everything moves with Bitcoin. And this is why I get frustrated sometimes. You have XRP maximalists, which directly focus on XRP as though it's operating by itself. It is not. The entire market moves with with Bitcoin. For the most part, I know you may see like Tezos has a pump or Chainlink has a pump, and XRP. Remember, if you were here in 2017, 2018, it pumped to $3.80, and I made some money off of it back then because I bought in at 10, 15 cents. I didn't sell all my XRP, but some of it I made some money. So it will move, eventually, but I think there's still just so many things that muddy the waters a bit. Big market fully moves with Bitcoin. We need regulatory clarity, and there's more utility and adoption that's needed to really help it decouple and move up. So don't look at XRP in a silo. Even I hold Ethereum. I don't look at it as in a silo because I see when Bitcoin pumps, it moves with it. So you can't ignore that fact. You really can't. And that's why I don't like maximalism. Like some people are like, okay, Ethereum is the only thing. Bitcoin is the only thing. XRP is the only thing. At this point, Bitcoin moves the market. It goes up, it goes up. It goes down, it goes down. That's just how it is. Brad says we have too much circulating supply, keeping your XRP price down. I don't honestly think it's a circulating supply. I believe, like I said, because I was here for the $3.80. I was here for different pumps that went up to 80 cents and so forth. This is the post bull run in 2017. So I don't think it's circulating supply. Let's see here. Probably be on here for another 5 minutes, guys, and then wrap it up. Robert B says, unfortunately, XRP has a bad image as an investment, but the company itself is building some great stuff. Yeah, Robert, I definitely understand, but I would say keep researching and understand what's happening. Don't just listen to Bitcoin maximalists or people just putting out stuff. Like I shared earlier, when the people from Messari actually spoke to Bitso and Mike Dudas as well, when they actually spoke to the companies using XRP, then they were like enlightened. They were like, oh my gosh, the XRP army, you should be happy about this and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, if you actually took the time to research that, you didn't have to talk to Bitso. You could have seen their press releases and all the volume that's coming up. But many people don't dig deep enough, right? They just look at things from the outside and they make a judgment, right? If guys, I'm gonna be fully transparent. I don't want to lose money. And if I saw Ripple was doing something shady, or they were doing something that would really cause XRP to collapse or whatever, man, I would be the first on making a video saying, F you guys at Ripple, F Brad Garlinghouse, all of that. I'm being for real. Like, I'm in this to make money. I have no feelings for anything, and I call it what it is, and I would do that. But I see the progress being made, and I follow it closely. Many people don't do that. I know many of you guys do, but there's a lot of people who just follow whatever they read in the headlines instead of going and looking at the liquidity index bot, instead of reading through the articles Ripple's publishing, instead of looking at the different documents the World Economic Forum is putting out and the IMF, and looking at the breadcrumbs, right? In the World Economic Forum guide on central bank digital currencies, which was released in January around the time of Davos, they clearly highlight XRP as a wholesale solution for central bank digital currencies. So that's like another fact I put in my list of things. Okay, this validates my investment, and price will eventually follow, because if a lot of people also look at XRP once again in a silo, like it exists by itself. It is the market moves with Bitcoin up and down, which for the life of me, I don't know why the XRP maximalist people are doing this. It is not decoupled yet. We are not at that stage of maturity yet. And this is why Ripple continues to do different things and investments. And we have to be patient and let the building take place. We need some regulations. I believe a big part of companies and different folks not touching XRP at this point is because of the lack of regulations. Tony Bowers says, what is your plan to cash out? So Tony Bowers, I can't share my document that I have with the actual amounts, but I'm cashing out in phases, because I think we all know we can't call the top and you can never call the bottom, right? But you have to do it in phases. You don't know what the top is going to be. I kind of made that mistake in 2017, 2018, because like some other cryptos I had, I was like, oh, the price is going to keep going up. And I get caught up in that, right? I did sell, when things started pulling back, so I didn't make money, but you can't call the top, so you cash out in phases. So, for example, just as an example, if I have one Bitcoin, right, and, we're thinking Bitcoin could hit 25 to 30K in the next bull cycle, I'm going to cash out in phases. So if Bitcoin hits 20K, you cash out a chunk of that Bitcoin, and then, okay, maybe it goes to 25K, you cash out the next 25K, because you don't know what the ceiling is. So you're taking in your profits along the way up. That's how I'm doing with my XRP, my Ethereum, my Bitcoin. I have certain price point targets, and I have the amount, and I have a calculator of how much this would yield me, and then calculating, what's my capital gains tax from that. I'm doing all that math, so I know, what point I'm going to cash out at, what it's going to yield me, what's the total return on my investment, and then divide that by like half, almost half, for capital gains tax. So that is how I have it phased out. I'll probably put out the template that I'm using so you guys can use it if you want, but highly recommend cashing out in phases because you don't know what the top will be. No one can call the top. It's not easy. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? Let's see here. Jay Duke says demographics and technology coming out equals must-have transfer of wealth to younger generation. We are becoming a space-based economy. Being a millionaire is going to be upper middle class. Yep. Crypto Hunky says Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM, etc., and Tezos will save you from your portfolio. For others, loss. My humble opinion. Yeah, Crypto Hunky. By the way, these things I bought very cheap. Remember, I've been here since 2016, so I'm not worried if I lose money here. And I know, once again, going back to my statement about the market moves of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes over 20K again, the alts are going to follow. So I'm going to sell these alts and make ridiculous profit because I bought them low. So that's why they're in red. I'm not accumulating even at these prices because I got them lower, right? Way lower prices, guys. So Tyson Bailey says, your thoughts on Digibyte, Tony? So Tyson, I remember researching Digibyte, and there are some things that turned me off about it. Maybe I'll research it again and see what's going on. But I remember some things that were called out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stay away from this. But I think it has potential, but I certainly need to research some more. Danny says, Tone Vase called a $7,600 top back in 2017. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of these trader guys, they can make predictions. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. But they do make a lot of predictions, so they kind of, play to dozens, I guess you would call it, right? They increase their odds by saying, oh, it's going to go to this and this and this. It could be right, could be wrong, but we'll see. All right, guys, one more minute and I'll wrap it up. Certainly looking forward to the Bitcoin halving, but we got to really be prepared to wait this thing out because this pandemic situation really slowed everything down. Let's see here. Kevin the Speedster says, anyone got their Trump check yet? I don't think anybody got their money, guys. It's pretty crazy. I was hoping they would really run with the idea of the Fed wallet and get people to set up their wallet on an app or something and send them their stimulus check that way, because I think that would be further validate the crypto market and get people to understand tokenization and blockchain and so forth. Notorious XRP, thank you for the $1.99 donation, my friend. I appreciate it. Tony Bauer says, I don't care who knows what amount I hold. My bag of 50,000 is on a Ledger Nano S. I stopped buying. I'm done. I'm just waiting to the moon. Yeah, Tony Bowers, definitely understand, but definitely don't disclose too much because people get an idea of how much money you've got. It just puts a target on your back. Now, remember, you don't have a profile photo. People don't know who you are necessarily, where you're at. They have some of that information on me, right? So I have to be careful. I don't want to disclose how much I have and all that. So. Citrus says, there's no trader who can predict crypto. Yeah, no one can predict anything. We're all guessing, right? What we have to look at is adoption, building, because those are tangible things that can lead to the increase in valuation, right? Just as you see in the stock market. And utility is important. So that's why, when I see BMW using VeChain, I'm like, okay, potential here. Do I know VeChain is going to be successful 5 years from now? I don't. But that's the risk, the gamble you take with investing, right? You look at the facts, adoption, utility, use cases, and all that, and that's how you got to approach it. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Great chatting with you all. Everybody stay healthy. Hit the thumbs up button, please. Everybody stay healthy and, be patient and just continue to watch the facts, right? Watch what's taking place, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night, everybody. I'm going to talk to you all tomorrow.